Okay, guys. I think I'm live. Let me just tap my phone up here. I always watch the stream just on my phone to make sure everything is running okay because my laptop is absolutely ancient and I do need a new one. But welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome back to the live streams. So Manchester United 2, Fulham 1, a result that sees United finish third place in the Premier League this season, and a result that means we do not have any chance of having to look at a playoff or any sort of qualification for Champions League next season. So in the poll, guys, we are running, as always, with every single match stream, the live reaction for you guys. So who was your man of the match? Get them in. The options I've went for is Sancho, Bruno, Fred, and De Gea. And our first commenter is in. Good to see you back, Jinwei. I remember you from last night, man. You were very, very active in the chat, and I really appreciate it. So it's good to see you back in here for the live reaction. Yes, guys. So very good result. Very happy with the performance today. Some real special shout outs. I want to give a big shout out to David De Gea saving a penalty. Something he isn't good at, but he saved it. And he picked up his Golden Glove award as well today. I rated him very highly in this match. I thought his saves were very important, and he did well. I think Sancho had a brilliant match. Probably my man of the match, all things considered. I can see you guys initially have gone for Sancho, and oh, Jinma's in there again with a, how much more do we get for finishing third? I believe it's around about £7 or £8 million, which it's not a crazy amount, but it might be the difference in signing a player or not. If it comes down to the last couple of million, we have ourselves covered. And with that, Eric Ten Hag will have a lovely big transfer budget for next season. Plenty of people joining in, so welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome back to the stream if you guys are new as well. The vote is down in the poll. Who was your man of the match for today's match? Was it Sancho, Bruno, Fred, or David De Gea? Let me know in the poll. Get your votes in as well for that one. Eric Ten Hag, of course, speaking to the media as he always does. And I always love watching out for Eric Ten Hag press conferences and what he's coming out with, because he always has some very good points and very good observations. And he has said, I want to say thank you to our players, to the staff, and to all those who have contributed for this season. The support was great, and the support truly was great. And I also want to thank you guys as well, because the support on the channel all season long has been absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much for all the love, all the support on the channel. Really does mean a lot to me. So getting into the match, what were my overall thoughts? Well, I think it was a very entertaining match. I think it was a lot of fun. Usually these last day of the season matches, they'll either be really fun or really boring. There's no in between. United's match was definitely fun, and we could have won by a lot more. So we will have a quick look at the stats. Not too important in the grand scheme of things. The big match, of course, is going to be next week against Man City, but we go into that match on the back of a win, a comeback win at home. That's good, and that means United have now won the most home matches out of any United team in history. That is fantastic record this season. Absolutely brilliant at home. If our away form picks up, if that gets better, we well and truly will be on for a good season next year. But I can see people filtering in. I can see some people joining in as well, and the votes are going in on the poll. So good to see you guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As well as that, on the poll, just as it stands, Sancho currently winning, but Bruno, Fred, and De Gea, they all have votes. You guys clearly liked what you've seen from those guys. I did too. Very happy with that performance. Very happy with the result today. So, with that in mind, we're going to have a quick look at the stats, something we always do on the streams, just so we can sort of contextualize and see everything through and the numbers and stuff. It kind of just backs up what we know we've already seen. So, a quick look, of course. Let me just pull it up here. Yeah, so very happy with today's performance. 2-1, obviously, to United. A lot more shots for United, way more shots on target. Possession, more passes, higher XG. Pretty much every way United could be the better team we were today. So across the pitch, we were better. Now, Fulham had their moments. Certainly in that first half, things were a little bit cagey, a little bit worrying for me at times. But it was good to get that result. I think some players didn't cover themselves in glory. I don't think Harry Maguire had a great match. I think certainly for that Fulham penalty, as much it was Casemiro who tripped up the Fulham player, it wouldn't have happened if Maguire defended properly and didn't turn his back on the ball, something you never do as a player. And I'm sure you guys know as well. I'm sure everybody's played football at some stage. You don't do that. That's just not what we do. When we were playing, but Eric Ten Hag speaking to the media, always love to bring latest quote. Ten Hag says, "When I say the words, there's one game to go. I'm sure these players will give everything to beat Man City next week. We will give everything to bring the cup back to Old Trafford, and we hope so because I'm sure you guys remember several times this season against Sevilla, against Liverpool, against many other teams, we've gone out and we haven't been interested. We go out and we just haven't looked like we cared in the match. We can't afford that next week. We have to go out, put in a good shift. Eric Ten Hag demanding it as well. I can see more people joining in. Welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to the stream. If you guys are new, of course, in the polls, in the comments, we always run this every single match. Who was your man of the match? And at the moment, Jadon Sancho is winning. But Bruno, Fred, De Gea, they're also up there as well. And they all had very, very good matches. Love that Bruno goal, man. Fantastic pass by Fred. Now, Fred, as we know, he's maybe not the best player on the ball, but he sure did make the most of that. Fantastic pass to find Bruno, and he just chipped the goalkeeper as calm as you like. And yeah, very, very happy with today's result. I think a couple of players today, it might have been the last time we've seen them at Old Trafford. Scott McTominay, probably one. Harry Maguire, hopefully, will be one. Hopefully, this will be Maguire's last Old Trafford appearance. I don't see him featuring at all next week either. So I think we might have seen the end of Harry Maguire. Other players as well could have been their last performance in a United shirt. Potentially David De Gea. Now, of course, he is in talks for a new contract, but he hasn't signed it yet. And until he has signed that, there's no guarantees with that. So that probably will come in the next couple of weeks. And of course, it will all be brought live to you guys on the channel. So, how do we look at today's match? What does it really mean? We said in the stream last night, this wasn't the most important match of our season. This wasn't going to be, if we lose against Fulham, season was a failure, or if we win against Fulham, it was a success. But what it was a good match. United played well, and we made things happen. Jinwei says, this felt different from Ollie's first season, gives me a completely different feeling about the future. Yes, I would agree. I think in Ollie's first season, the first season when he was the caretaker manager, the club was on its knees. The players were genuinely like depressed under Mourinho, and Ollie came in with a smile, and it got some performances out of them, and it kind of ran out. The next season we did finish fourth, but it was a horrible season, man. Some awful performances, but this does feel different. Can see new comments in there from Festus as well. Fred did a great job. He deserves to be man of the match. Yes, I do think Fred had a brilliant match. I think he was all over the pitch, and if you ask me, against Man City next week, we're not going to go out and have a lot of the ball. Man City will dominate possession. I think we need Fred in that match. I think Fred cutting about, maybe trying to man mark Kevin De Bruyne like he did at Old Trafford, that could be a really good option for Eric Ten Hag and his team. I think Fred, I certainly would play him in this match. He's very, very good in big matches. So thanks for the comment. I do agree with you. Fred definitely has to start next week. And I also think Fred was a very good shout for man of the match, and that's why he's up there amongst my four. I wish YouTube would let me put the whole team in, but unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. But yes, other than that, at the current moment in time, Jadon Sancho currently winning with 33% of the vote. But if you guys thought Fred or Bruno or even David De Gea was man of the match, get it in on the comment. And I want to know what you guys thought about De Gea's performance today, because there was some things that were absolutely brilliant. The penalty save, some of his overall saves as well, very, very good. David De Gea, I do think he maybe could have done better for the Fulham first goal. I think maybe he could have came and collected the cross before Harry Maguire headed it out. But Maguire should have known that there was nobody behind him, and he should have looked around. And if he did that, Fulham probably didn't score. They didn't create a lot. They were still in the match, but at the end of the day, United won, and that's the most important thing. So third place is United's final league position, 75 points. That's not bad. I mean, for as good a season as Arsenal had, United finished 9 points behind them. That's only 3 wins, and there was easily 3 matches this season where United should have won. And I think, and I'm sure you guys might agree with me on this one, across the season, I can't name too many matches where United were the worst team. If we did lose a match or drop points, it was probably because of poor decisions, conceding late goals, bad decision making, poor defending at times, not scoring enough goals. I don't think too many teams have really took us apart. I mean, obviously Liverpool and City and Brentford, but looking at the Arsenal loss or the loss against loss against Brighton as well, those matches we could and should have got something more out of them. We definitely had the opportunities, and I think that's what Jinwei as well is referring to in his comment when he has said it feels different than Ollie's first season. But yes, guys, more people joining in. Welcome to the channel, guys. This is the final post-match live of the season. Well, except for next week, of course, for the FA Cup. But any thoughts, get them into the comments and keep voting as well. Jinwei says we're a nightmare to play against home. Yes, we are. We are very, very good at home, man. Very, very solid across the season. I think one of the best things Eric Ten Hag has really brought to this team is that sort of resilience at Old Trafford. We've only lost 2 matches all season. On the first day of the season against Brighton, and then a couple of weeks later against Real Sociedad in a match that we should not have lost. But I can see more people joining in, so welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to the chat as well. If you guys want to let me know who was your man of the match, get it in the poll as well down in the comments. So Sancho, Bruno, Fred, or David De Gea. I actually managed to get my words caught up there. So speaking of man of the match and player ratings, I'm going to have a quick run through mine. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my choices. That's the best thing about doing these shows. It's all opinions, and your guys' opinions are every bit as important as mine for United. So let's have a quick look at how I've scored everybody on today's performance. So I went David De Gea for a 7. I thought very solid performance, all things considered. Really good saving that penalty. And if he had just collected that one cross, then Fulham wouldn't have scored, and it would have been another clean sheet. Across the back four, pretty average all round. The low 6, Lindelof 6, Malacia 6. I give Harry Maguire a 5 because I just don't think Harry Maguire will be there next season, and he does make us look worse. He's on the pitch. One of the few players I would say that about. He just makes us look nervous, and I'm sure you guys agree. Moving into midfield, Fred's getting an 8 out of 10. Casemiro with a 6. That's only for giving the penalty away. Other than that, he was pretty good all around. Bruno getting a 7. Very good finish from him. Gonna give Rashford a 6. A little bit quiet by his standards. Garnacho 7. Very involved. Looked very good in today's match. Jadon Sancho getting an 8 out of 10. So my 2 man of the matches were Fred and Sancho. But any more thoughts, guys? Who was your man of the match? Let me know in the comments. Do you agree or disagree with me? If I had to go for a decision, if I had to pick one, both obviously played very well, but I'll probably go for Fred as my overall man of the match. But I can see you guys going for Sancho. That's a fair opinion. I thought Sancho very, very good today. And I do like this because for a lot of the season, it was kind of like we basically gave Rashford man of the match every single match because he was the only guy scoring goals, but other players are really performing now as well. New comment in there from Chronic Maths Debater. I've just been baited, man. Yeah, I knew it was coming. I think we'll beat City 5-0. I hope so, man. I have just been baited. It happens sometimes. Without the glasses, it can't happen, man. So yeah, overall, very positive performance. Very happy with the result today. Man of the matches, of course. Now McCabe's in there. Exciting moments from Sancho, finishing third with a trophy already under the belt. One for another, but couldn't be happier with the season, even if the horror moments, lots of work to do on, but exciting. Yeah, agree, man. There is big positives. There was some dark moments, some very nasty moments to watch out for, but overall, very happy with the performance. Been baited too. Yep, it happened. Honestly, it stuck to the last day of the season to be baited. Has to happen. Obviously, there's Susbridge. I guess I'm joining the ranks. Oh dear. But yeah, very positive performance, good result, good end to the season, and we go again next week. That's the big takeaway from today's match. We go again next week and we try to win the FA Cup against City. It won't be easy, it will be difficult, but I think we can do it. Certainly across the season, City definitely a better team than us. I'm not gonna make excuses or say we're better than City, but I certainly think we can win. We beat them already this season. No reason why we can't do it again. No reason at all. And I'm sure Eric Ten Hag will be saying the same things to the players. I'm sure as well. Nastiest moment of the season, probably you getting baited. Yeah, it happened, mate. Worst thing is, I actually read out the chronic bit, and I'm just like, is it? But yeah, not great for myself. Slightly embarrassed here. But yes, getting back to it, and to what we are going to move on real quick because there is some news coming out of Manchester United that I'm sure you guys will be interested in. So, Simon Stone, one of the best United reporters, obviously not up there with the likes of Romano and David Ornstein in terms of a name and reputation, but when Simon Stone speaks, it's usually pretty factual, it's usually very, very accurate. And he has been talking about Sheikh Jassim putting another bid in for Manchester United. I think that could be interesting. I think definitely there is something going on with the Qatari takeover. I think they are going to come back in with another bid. So as always, guys, what are your thoughts? Do you think Qatar will buy us, or will it be Radcliffe? Will another bid do the job? I don't know. I mean, how many bids does there have to be? At some stage, I'm sure that Qatar are going to either walk away from this or Radcliffe or something. That's the real question. I'm hoping that in the next couple of weeks we'll get movement. We said, I believe last night there was meant to be a preferred bidder named at the end of last week. That's been pushed back another week, so more delays on that one. Obviously, eating into our transfer window, it's eating into what we can do. That's not great. I mean, what do we have to do? We have to go out and get ourselves sold. That's the main objective here. There is Chronic back in there as well. Sorry, mate. Don't worry, mate. It happens to it happens to everybody on YouTube. We all get baited at some stage. Um, don't worry, all good. But yeah, I mean, let's see. Oh, plenty of people are joining in. So welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new as well, this is the post-match reaction live after every single match for United this season. So if you guys want to get your thoughts into the comments and keep voting on the poll down below as well. Who was your man of the match? Was it Sancho or Bruno, Fred or David De Gea? Personally, it's a toss-up between Sancho and Fred for me. I think Sancho probably more effective in the final third, whereas Fred had a very good match across the pitch and a fantastic assist as well. So that's why Fred is up there. And all things considered, I'll probably go for Fred. I think just about on that one. But if you guys disagree, if you guys have any other thoughts, get them into the comments and let me quickly load up what Simon Stone has been saying about Manchester United and Qatar. Just for your guys' reference, because chat always does get busy. We like to keep things in there, so I will pin this for you guys. So of course, it's still unresolved. So Simon Stone has said Manchester United directors received an update on the potential sale of the club on a board meeting on Thursday night. There has been no decision around whether the Glazer family will accept any of the current bids from Jim Radcliffe or Sheikh Jassim. The latter put in a fourth bid more than a fortnight ago, but there is a feeling within the club and within those around the deal that Sheikh Jassim might go back with another bid even higher. Sheikh Jassim wants to buy 100% of the club, while Ineos are happy to take a smaller stake that could give them majority control and allow Joel and Avram Glazer to retain a financial interest in the club. There were rumours of an announcement on Friday, but that did not materialise. So, where do we stand on this one? Let me know your thoughts down below, guys, because I always want to know what you guys think about the takeover. Obviously, it's divisive. Everybody has their own opinions on it. Everybody has their own thoughts. What do you guys think? Get those thoughts into the comments down below. So, where do we stand on this one? I feel like it's just much of the same, but I think it is interesting and very worrying, really, that United directors are in the dark. Like, these are the guys who are running Manchester United Football Club, and they don't know what's happening. Like, I mean, that's kind of concerning me. I'm sure it's concerning you guys as well. Any other thoughts? Get them into the chat. I'll just have a quick look at it here as well, and I'll just move back over onto here. Love the stream, pal, says Chronic. No worries, man. Here's much appreciated. Yes, guys, any more thoughts? Keeping them coming in. We can see on Man of the Match poll as well. Looks like Jadon Sancho is still ahead with 40% of the vote. We can also see Bruno, Fred, and David De Gea up there as well. Fred, actually, my own personal choice for man of the match, well down there. Um, that's just my thought, guys. Of course, everybody has their own opinions, and you guys seem to be thinking Sancho was man of the match. I thought he was brilliant. It was a real toss up. And I think possibly Sancho's best performance for United. I think in the last couple of weeks, we've seen a bit more from Sancho, a bit more drive, a bit more determination to make things happen. I guess concern always with getting Sancho has been the lack of improv. We're seeing a little bit determined not go out and make things look to play a little bit all things considered. So Lucanio is in there. Qatar owners will give us just like City. It's just about how we spend and how we buy. So I do agree with that. I think who buys us, it's as much who we buy and what we buy that much as money being spent. I think that is very important that we go out and buy the players. I mean, the Chelsea was spent like 600 million and they finished 13th. Spending money doesn't really success. Absolutely spent well. Barcelona, another good example. That's a lot of money. They're kind of now. They had many years where they were just completely behind Madrid. City, on the other hand, they invest smartly and they go and they're dominating, but they're buying the players for Pep Guardiola. And I think that's what we're going to have to do because we've been so the players in the right positions, a good squad, all things considered. What we have to do is go out and improve that, and that's going to take money, but it's also going to have to smart investment. Not signing, I guess, will be 1 million signing as much as we love. Spending that kind of money, it's just not going to happen. What does that mean? We have got I like Lucanio, so they're really great with that. Moving on, and I guess loaded to get in chat for you guys. It's just some of the same comments on Shake to Sin and this on that takeover. But any more thoughts on Des match? Get into the comments as well, guys. Let me know your thoughts on that one. And just keep on putting on. Sancho is winning. Bruno 21%, Fred 14%, and David had 12%. A lot of people backing David. I think a little bit of public opinion is starting. I think a couple of weeks ago, people were really gone. People seem a bit happier to have De Gea here once again at the moment. So that is just something I've noticed in the comment sections about on Twitter and other sources. As well. So, all things considered, very happy with today's performance. We finished third in the league above Newcastle, 9 points off second place. Now, it's not great, but that's definitely fixable. We went from last season having what was it, 56 points to 75 points this season. That's an improvement of almost 20 points. And 20 points would have had United winning the title at this rate. So, we could be on for a very good season next year if we go out and invest wisely, strengthen the team where needed. I also think I might be lagging here. Lagging. I think it's better. I think it has been fixed, thankfully. Don't know what it's doing now. I think it's my internet. So apologies for that. So just let me load up the Simon Stone article. I'll get it into the comments. You guys can go back and look at it, refer to it as when needed. But the key thing from Simon Stone is not resolved. I think that's what he summarized it as. That's kind of the position Takeover is in. In terms of today's match, there's not really too much to say. This isn't the most impactful match of the season. Last week was a lot bigger when we confirmed that we were in the Champions League against Chelsea. This was kind of just a can we finish third? Can we get that extra little bit of money? Can we go out and go on from here and invest that little bit more? But what we do want to turn to, of course, is the sale. I think the sale is a big one. that we want to talk about here. Let me just rate this out for you guys. So, United sale questions linger on. Simon Stone has said United directors received an update on the potential sale of the club on a board meeting on Thursday. There has been no discussion whether the Glazer family will accept any of the current bids. So, the guys running United don't know what's happening with United. The United fans don't know what's happening with United. So, that's not great. All things considered, that's definitely not positive. Um, Let me just separate that so I can get it into the comments. But yeah, that is worrying for me, and this is something we've said across the channel over the last couple of days. And the takeover is so important that we get it right. So important that we go out and really have the ability to have a great summer transfer window. But from those two posts in the comments, you guys can see it. That is a current edition that is coming from BBC Sport. Simon Stone. So, Manchester United directors received an update on the potential sale of the club on Thursday during a board meeting. There has been no discussion whether the Glazer family will accept any of the current bids. That's worrying. I mean, the guys, the ones who are the board directors, they are the ones who are tasked with running the day of the club. It's from them where, of course, we will go out and um at our budget they'll be the guys negotiating, they'll be the guys making those kind of decisions, and if they're in the dark, then Eric Ten Hag is in the dark and the United squad is in the dark, and we won't know what we're doing. And I think this is concerning. It's definitely a concerning update for me. We need resolution. We need a definitive end to all this madness with the takeover. That's the ultimate point that I'm going to go for. That's my thought on that one. So we'll move back over to the match. If you guys have any more thoughts about the takeover, anything else you want to cover on the stream, get your thoughts into the comments. And um, Eric Ten Hag speaking with the media again. So we had some of his quotes earlier. He was just thanking the media in terms of support all season from the fans, the players, and everybody else surrounding the club. Of course, probably not his most serious press conference, but he has also made some more quotes, some stuff that we do want to look at regarding his thoughts on today's match and his thoughts indeed for next week. The big one being Anthony. Now, Anthony, as we know, went off in the last match injured. He has been spotted at Old Trafford on crutches, but according to Eric Ten Hag, he could feature next week against Man City in the FA Cup. That is very interesting. I wasn't expecting that sort of news to come out. I mean, you see a guy walking into the stadium on crutches, you think, yeah, he's going to be out for a while, but Anthony could be back for the FA Cup final. That is very interesting. I'm surprised about that. I'm sure you guys are as well. So Eric Ten Hag on Anthony, we've seen how he came off. It didn't look great on the first assessment, but it is not too bad. There is a good chance he is available for the cup final next week. I'm surprised at that. I'm very shocked at that. But let me know your thoughts on that one as well. So some more comments are coming in. Lacano saying, "Look, Glazers out protest push the owners to give in and sell sooner. By the way, I do not condone a violent protest, just to show that we are not happy." Well, I think the 1958, the guys who are organising a lot of the protests, I think they've done a very good job in keeping everything under wraps, keeping everything pretty peaceful for the most part. Obviously, there's fireworks, there's flares and stuff, but it's a protest. What do you expect? I think there could be more protests. I think if the Glazers don't sell pretty soon, there could be protests. Do I think they would be effective? That's the question. I think it's a good way to raise awareness in the media. It's a good way to get United fans on TV putting our concerns about, but it hasn't worked for 20 years. I mean, we do have to question. I think the protests don't affect the Glazer family because they're not in Manchester. They live in America. They've never come Manchester or England, so kind of a hard one, all things considered, on that. But I can see plenty of people joining in, so welcome to the stream and welcome to the channel, guys. Any more thoughts? If you guys want to get them into the comments down below, and keep voting on the poll. Who was your man of the match for today's match? Was it Sancho, Bruno, Fred, or David De Gea? At the moment, Sancho is winning that with 38% of the vote. But if you guys thought Bruno or De Gea or even Fred was man of the match, get your votes in down below and let me know your thoughts as well. And as well, if you guys want to help support the channel, please consider hitting that like button and hitting that sub button as well. Helps the stream out, helps the channel out so much. The support from you guys all season has been incredible, and honestly, this has been so much fun, and I've really enjoyed covering the entire season. So I am very thankful for all that, and there is plenty more to come. Of course, the transfer window and the FA Cup final and the takeover as well. Lots and lots to cover, lots and lots to look at in the next couple of weeks. So very exciting times. Um, I do agree with what Lacania was saying there. For anybody just joining, perhaps another protest could happen. It could certainly be a real possibility. It all depends on the effectiveness of it, and they take a lot to organize. It definitely takes several weeks of organization from getting everybody together. It's very easy to do it at a United match because obviously all those fans are going to be there anyway, and it's easier to pull people towards a protest if they believe in it and whenever it's there. So that's um that's my thoughts on that one. Eric Ten Hag has equaled the record for the most home wins in a single season for a Man United manager. That is 27. So that's a great statistic for Eric Ten Hag. I'm sure he's very happy with that. I'm sure he probably would have wanted one or two more wins to make sure he outright broke the record. But definitely Eric Ten Hag, fantastic job so far this. I'm sure you guys are completely happy with him. I'm sure we all want to see him back in the summer transfer window with some more players. And he said the other day, he said just a couple of days ago, I need better players. We go out and get him that, I think we can have an even better season next year. It will take a lot to beat City for a league title or even the Champions League or anything like that, but we can do it. I think a big investment needed. And I think realistically, we're probably looking at, I think, 750 million to challenge Man City. Now, we spent 250 million last year, and that means we're going to have to spend 250 million this year and 250 million next year. From that point, you will have a full team and a full bench of top class players who Eric Ten Hag wants and needs. And then from there, you go every season, you bring in one or two very good players just to add to your team. Swap out some players you don't need, some people who aren't effective anymore. And that's what you do. That's what Alex Ferguson did. Spent a lot of money in clumps. He would invest one season. We brought in Rooney and Ronaldo, of course, and then after that, you add to the team slowly but surely. You bring in one or two top class players, just keep everybody on their toes, keep everything taking over, and I think we can get there. And I think Eric Ten Hag is on that path. I think we have the right guy in charge. 27 home wins in a season is absolutely fantastic. Only been done once in United history, of course, by Sir Alex Ferguson. So that is a very, very good record to have. And if we can replicate that next season, improve our away form, we will be very close to challenging for big honours. Trust me when I say it, we could be close, all things considered. So, loads of people are joining in. So, it is great to see you guys with us after the match today. Any thoughts? Get them into the comments and keep voting on the poll as well. Who was your man of the match? Today's match, was it Sancho, Bruno, David De Gea, or Fred? Let me know down below. Currently, Sancho is winning with 39% of the vote. But if you guys thought Fred, Bruno, or De Gea was man of the match, your votes in on the poll and let us know what you think. So yeah, going back to today's match and Eric Ten Hag, he says, I want to thank the players. They have had a great season. Thanks to the staff as well. Thank you all for your contributions. So Eric Ten Hag, definitely very thankful for today. Hasn't been an easy season. There's definitely been very hard days, of course, really bad days as United fans. Sitting 6 to City, 7 to Liverpool. That Brentford match, not great. But Eric Ten Hag, third place finish in his first season, the most clean sheets, the third fewest goals stated. We have beaten all Big Six teams and we've only lost once at home all season in the Premier League. So that's very good for me. Very positive from Eric Ten Hag. I can see loads of people are joining in. It's great to have you guys with us, of course. Keep getting your thoughts in. We will open the floor up now because this isn't a match that has the significance where we need to talk and discuss everything that went down for an hour and a half. Get your thoughts in, guys. Completely interactive stream. Let me know your thoughts. All comments will be read out, of course. And Keep those votes coming as well. Who was the man of the match for you? Was it Sancho, Fred, Bruno, or David De Gea? Let me know on the poll. Currently, Jadon Sancho winning the final United Philosophy Man of the Match award for the Premier League season. But if you guys want to change that, if you guys thought David De Gea was the man of the match, get your votes in down below. And we will keep on bringing you guys the latest news coming out of Manchester United now as well. So we'll keep an eye out for anything dropping. I think interestingly enough, has been noted that Mason Mount has probably played his last game for Chelsea. Now there has been big rumours about United wanting to buy Mason Mount. Could it happen? I don't know. Definitely a possibility. And if he's emotional at full time, you have to think there's something there. If he's on the pitch crying, this is his boyhood club. Looks like Mason Mount might be on his way. And according to all reliable sources, United are definitely leading the race for Mason Mount. So, guys, any more thoughts? Get them into the comments. And see loads of people joining in as well. So good to have you guys with us. Thank you very much for all the support all season long. And keep your thoughts coming. Keep those comments coming. And get your votes in on the poll. Who was the man of the match? Was it Sancho, Bruno, Fred, or David De Gea? Eric Ten Hag, of course, very good performance from him. David De Gea, man of the match for some, of course, and he also has the Golden Glove this season as well. So big congratulations to David De Gea on that one. Pep Guardiola has been speaking, so uh, I think this is quite relevant. Ruben Diaz hasn't trained in 10 days. Grealish neither. After Brighton, De Bruyne left the game feeling something bad in his leg a few weeks ago. They could play a few more games. I think they will be ready. So Pep, they'll be full strength. We will be full strength. I'm looking forward to this. I can see a comment has come in from Jinwe. Good to see you back in here, man. Mason Mount is just getting himself into a situation for several clubs to bid for him. Absolutely, like, make no mistake about it. He will not be sitting waiting for Manchester United. He will, if he wants out of Chelsea, he will sit. He will talk to other clubs. I mean, he will go to Arsenal. He will go to Newcastle, Liverpool. His agent will be meeting with a lot of clubs, and that is something that we do know. There is no real exclusivity. We can't say Liverpool, you can't talk to Mason Mount because we want to talk to him. He'll be talking to clubs. He'll be looking for a lot of bids because the more clubs interested in him, the more money he will get out of it. Of course, if United say, "Oh, Mason, we want to pay you 100,000 a week," and Newcastle say, "We want to pay you 150," and then Liverpool up theirs to 200, that's just kind of how a player will increase that. And you see it from clubs as well. Clubs will, of course, go to other clubs, offer players who are potentially being looked at by United and say, "Can you put a bid in and we can get more money for our player from United?" So that definitely is a thing. Plenty of people joining in, 36 in the stream at the minute. So good to see you guys. Any thoughts, get them into the comments and keep voting on today's poll. Who was the man of the match? The final United Philosophy man of the match of the season so far. Overall, very, very happy with today's result. I'm sure you guys are as well. I'm looking forward to the FA Cup final now. I think it will be a good end of the season. We've done all we can in the league. We have gone for the first time in 10 long years and won a trophy and finished in the top four at the same time. So that's a big achievement for United, certainly in the last 10 years. And that's good. Overall, United stats for anybody interested for the season. 38 matches played, 23 wins, 6 draws, 9 losses, only scored 48 goals and kept 17 clean sheets. Sorry, son's stuck in my throat there, guys. Top goal scorer Marcus Rashford with 17. Most assists is split between Bruno and Christian Eriksen, both with 8 assists apiece. So I'll try to get this into the comments. Let me just see if I can get this in. It does have a 200 character limit, which is very frustrating, guys. So I'll hope for the best here with this one, just so we have this as a point of reference. Any more thoughts, get them into the comments. Jinwa is in there again. Thing is, though, we need to buy some English player to fit the FA requirement for a squad. Yes, yes, we do. I'm not sure how many players it needs to be. I think we will have Rashford. We will have Luke Shaw. We'll have Sancho. I guess that's 3. Is there I think it might be like 5 or something, is it? So if Mason Mount does come in, if Harry Kane comes in as rumored, that certainly would hit that quota for me. So that's my thoughts on it. Any more thoughts? Of course, guys, get them into the comments. Keep your thoughts coming as well. And join in with the likes of Jinwei, who have joined in with the community by hitting that sub button this week. Absolutely fantastic support all week long. So keep it coming, guys. And let me know your thoughts down below. Fully interactive. Of course, the only way to be on the channel here, something I do believe is giving you guys a voice and a platform put out your thoughts and opinions, or you can talk to other United fans. This is honestly one of my favorite things I've done in a very long time. Absolutely loving it for you guys. So here's a question for you guys. If anyone wants to get your thoughts into the comments, have United had a better season than Arsenal? Because we have finished third place, won a trophy. They have finished second place and won no trophies. That I'm sure you guys can debate that all day long. Arsenal fans would disagree with me. But I think United might have had a better season than Arsenal, even if we don't win the FA Cup. We have already won a League Cup. We have finished top four just like them. There's no real difference other than that. So, for me, I think we might have had a better season. That's just my thoughts. Jinwa says De Gea basically won the Golden Glove because our defense is good and Casemiro. Yes, I do agree with that. I think a lot of people have been talking about how great De Gea has been. I think he's made some very good saves, and of course he has kept clean sheets this season. But defending is like a team effort. It's not like scoring a goal where Rashford could pick the ball up and just score a goal by himself. Defending takes 90 minutes of hard work, your whole team to keep a clean sheet. And league titles, big trophies are won on the back of good defending. And with we do have a good defense. Rafael Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw, Dalot, and Casemiro in front of him. That is a good defense. And De Gea, whilst I think he has things to work on, I think he definitely can improve in some areas. I think he's also done well. Um, but it's definitely a team. It's a team award for me. It's not a case that you go out and an individual wins the most clean sheets, because that's just not really how it works. That's my thoughts on that one. We can actually, the poll is getting very interesting in the comments. Sancho 35, Bruno 20, Fred with 12, and David De Gea 33%. Lacano says, in my opinion, we've had a better season. We have the League Cup and we are in the final against Man City. Yes, I'm sure Arsenal fans would clip me up. I'm sure Arsenal fans would have a lot of thoughts on this one, but we went out, we won a trophy. Even if we lose next week to Man City, that's still a more successful season. I mean, you don't get anything extra from finishing second as opposed to finishing third. The only thing you might get is like an extra £2 or £3 million prize money, but I mean, that's it. And if that's what it's coming down to, I think I would rather finish third and win trophy. I mean, Arsenal should have won the Premier League. Statistically speaking, those guys had the longest amount of time at the Premier League without winning it. That is a bottling team, in my opinion. Jinwei says, if we win the FA Cup, yes, because how hard it is to win the FA Cup, we can beat this City team and the quality of this trophy is out there. Yeah, I mean, FA Cup, a very prestigious award, and we do want to win it. Lucanio says, I do hope we win the FA Cup, prove we can fight for silverware. I think that's a very good point, man. I think building a winning mentality is so important in your team, and the more trophies you win, the more trophies your players want to win. I think that's one of the biggest things when you speak to or listen to any of Alex Ferguson's greatest players, Roy Keane, Brian Robson, Rio Ferdinand, Vidic. Those guys talk about being addicted to winning, and that's what we need to be. We don't want to be a team who's just here to compete and take part. We want to take over. We want to win matches, win trophies. That's what this club has always been about. The more people joining in, and I can see De Gea has taken the lead in the man of the match poll, so that's an interesting development. Any more thoughts, guys? Get them into the comments. If you guys are new as well and you want to help support the channel, please consider hitting that sub button. We've had so much support over the past couple of weeks, especially and all season long. Your guys' support has been absolutely incredible. I've loved bringing you guys the live shows, and we will be live all summer long with the transfers and with the takeover news. So for anybody who has just joined us and wants to know the latest on the takeover, That is in the comments down below. So let me just pull it up here. Manchester United directors reveal an update on the potential sale, and they found out on Thursday night, which means United directors are not being told by the Glazer family what's happened. It's kind of like if you owned a business and you had a load of managers who ran it for you and you didn't have to take part in being in the shop. That's like you going, "Oh, we're gonna sell the shop to somebody else," and not telling them. That's very dangerous, in my opinion. And there still has been no decision about whether the Glazer family will accept any of the bids from Radcliffe or from Sheikh Jassim. So that's the latest on the takeover. I'm sure you guys have thoughts on that one. Um, we've been running polls on the comments all week on every live stream. I've asked you guys because it's so important this topic and to know about the takeover. Who would you rather between Sheikh Jassim or Jim Radcliffe? Who do you want to buy Man United? And the support has always been on the channel overwhelming for Qatar. And I'm sure you guys have had enough of the Glazer family. I'm sure you guys are looking and saying Jim Radcliffe wants to keep the Glazers on just to make sure that he can buy the club. And that's not good. That's my thoughts on that one, but I'm sure you guys have even more thoughts, so get them into the comments. And as well, keep voting on the poll. We can see Jadon Sancho has managed to claw his way back and is now at 35% of the vote, so fair play to Jadon Sancho. FA Cup final next week will be a big one. As well as that, guys, keep an eye out. Tomorrow there will be a detailed scout report on Kim Min Jae to Manchester United, one player we have been heavily linked to all season. Lacano as well, another one in there. Good to see you, man. As well, thanks for all the comments today and across the week. Thirdly, another interesting stat to prove we've had a better season than Bottle FC is that we have only conceded 9 goals conceding at home compared to Arsenal. Yes, United's home record very, very good, of course, and as we know as well, the clean sheets. David De Gea has kept the most clean sheets in the entire Premier League all season. So United have done well, definitely. Thanks to here. Thanks someone sending a load of hearts there. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. But yes, all things considered, positive day, positive result, third place finish. We've won one trophy. Next season or next week we go for the second one. We can win the FA Cup. That will be a fantastic achievement. Means that no treble for City. It'll mean absolutely no United. No doubt will have had a better season than Arsenal. Jinwei is asking my thoughts on Jurrien Timber. I do love Jurrien Timber. I think he's so good. Um, Obviously played with Sandro Martinez at Ajax. Very, very good young player. Quick, direct, so good on the ball. I think it's something I was looking at. I'm really torn between Timber or Kim Min Jae. I think they're both brilliant, and I would love us to bring Timber. My only concern is that Timber is 5'10" and Lisandro Martinez is 5'9". We are looking at two short centre backs. Maybe Kim Min Jae brings a little bit more balance. But if we can get both, that could be brilliant. Timber as well can play midfield. He can play at right back. Or we could switch to like a three at the back as well. Imagine Lisandro Martinez, Timber, and Rafael Varane as your three defenders. That could be fantastic, in my opinion. Any more thoughts? Keep getting them into the comments, guys. Loving bringing you guys a live show today. So, I'll have another check for any of the latest United news. Anything new coming out of Eric Ten Hag? What has he been saying? Of course, thanking the players, thanking the fans for the support all year. Hasn't been an easy season at times for Eric Ten Hag, but he has stuck in there and he has got the most out of this team. So speaking about the FA Cup final, Eric Ten Hag has said they're in tomorrow because we have the Player of the Year, a charity gala here, and we stick to the routine. We have our days off and relax, but we have 1 week to go. We will use the days to train and prepare the team as best as possible. So that's good. Eric Ten Hag, he's keeping the players working. We're not going to have a week off. We will be focused, ready to take on Man City next week, and let's just hope that we manage to beat City next week. That has to be the big achievement. If we can do that, what an achievement, Eric Ten Hag, for his first season. Absolutely fantastic. So, let me not start. Yeah, so big credit to Eric Ten Hag. Fantastic season. Great for United. Loved covering it with you guys. some real good moments, some real bad moments. Of course, I will do this during the week, planning to do my own United Player of the Year awards. We will do a live to get all your guys' thoughts on that one. We look forward to that dropping soon. Eric Ten Hag speaking on Fulham, so this is just a quick match report. Start I was not happy with. We were not organised. Messi out of possession. The save of David was the turning point. It woke us up. A very good wake up from David. From there, we got organised. Intensity got better. More trouble for Fulham. So that's why I think a lot of people have went to Gea in the man of the match. I think that one save really did. I think that got us further up the pitch. I think that managed to wake United up and made us go out and play that little bit better. So that is Eric Ten Hag speaking on David De Gea, of course. Some more quotes to bring you as well from Eric Ten Hag speaking about Man City. Next week we beat them in January. The players know when they play at their levels we can compete. We play against the best team, but there is a chance. We can't find excuses for ourselves. I'm sure we will play a good game. So Eric Ten Hag believing that United can go out against City and win. I'm believing it as well. I'm hoping we can win. I'm sure you guys are as well. So let's go out and have a good performance. Let's go out and make sure that we beat Man City next. What a season it will have been. I think already this might be one of the best seasons United have had in terms of overall progress as a team, as a football club, winning trophies, getting that top four since Sir Alex Ferguson. It's definitely up there with Jose Mourinho's first season, up there with that season Ollie had when he finished second. Probably even better, probably even more important. I can see a long term future. I can see a project. I can see something I believe in, something that I think will work. I'm sure you guys feel the same. If you don't, get them into the comments. If you guys don't think it's going to work out with Ten Hag, let me know down below why. Because, of course, this is an interactive channel, interactive show. All comments read out and replied to across the channel on everything. Something I really passionately believe in is engaging with you guys, because you guys give me time out of your day. The very least I can do is return the favor and get back to you guys. So any thoughts, get them into the comments. Love knowing what you guys think. Been one of the best things all season is these live streams for me. But yes, any more thoughts? Keep firing them in. At the minute, Sancho is winning that man of the match poll. A very, very close poll. Recent weeks we have had clear winners every single time, but Jadon Sancho is winning the man of the match poll for today's match. Any more thoughts? Get them into the comments. Of course, anybody who is looking for a quick recap in terms of player ratings or anything like that, I'll have a quick look at it now. So just when we're on the subject, of course, on man of the matches, etc., I've went for David De Gea, 7 out of 10. Went the low 6, wire 5. Lindelof is a 6. Lacia a 6 as well. All pretty average. Maguire, that little bit worse than everybody else, in my opinion. Moving into midfield, Fred getting an 8 out of 10. Bruno a 7. Casemiro a 6, only because he gave a penalty away, for no other reason than that. Garnacho 7. Rashford 6. Sancho number 8. So it's between Sancho and Fred for man of the match for me. Very hard to choose. I think if I had to say, I'll probably go for Fred, just to be different. But Sancho definitely does deserve man of the match for today's performance. Great performance from him. Great performance from United. Great result. And what an end to the season. Finishing third. Let's go have a big, big summer transfer window. I believe in us. I think we will have that big window we want. Jinwa says, why is there a playoff for UCL? I think it's possibly for the 4th place team, but thankfully that's Newcastle and not us. So we will be straight into the Champions League, regardless of what happens. And I think the reason there's a playoff is just because there's so many teams who could qualify. It's like Newcastle will have to, if there is a playoff, I'm not 100% sure, but if there is a playoff, they will probably end up playing someone from like Greece or like a Polish team or someone like that. Someone they basically should win, because UEFA do kind of rig the draw a little bit to make sure the big teams are always going to be in it. They do the same thing at the group stage. You can only be drawn against one other big team. So they will do that. They will try to twist it a little bit, and that's just to make sure the big teams stay in it, because it's better for them, better for money coming in, advertisers. I mean, advertisers like Coca-Cola and like Pepsi. So guys like that, they're going to want to spend their money on United versus Real Madrid. They won't want to spend money on like Newcastle against Union Berlin. That's that's not what they're going to want their money on. So that's my thoughts. And can see some more people joining in. If you guys want to get your thoughts into the comments and keep voting on the man of the match poll, let me know your thoughts down below. So with all that being said, I think great season for United. Eric Ten Hag seems to be in a reflective mood for today. He has done a speech after the match. If anybody wants to check that out, that probably is on Twitter, Facebook, and anywhere else you guys catch your United news. I'm going to leave the stream here. My voice is going, so thank you very much for watching, guys. And if you want to support the channel, please consider hitting that sub button. Really great support over the last week or so. Absolutely love talking to you guys on the daily basis. And with that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next one.